What's going on, guys? Khalipa's Tech here, coming back at you with another video. This is the beginner's guide to the Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G. In this video, I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks for this phone that you're going to want to know about when you're setting up the phone for the first time. Before we go any further, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. That being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to turn the battery percentage on and off on the status bar. So right here, as you can see, the battery percentage is on, and I'm going to show you how you can turn it off if you don't want it to be there, and vice versa. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Settings, Battery, and right here, you're going to toggle this off if you don't want it to show up. And as you can see, the battery percentage is no longer there. If you want it back, just make sure it's toggled on, and it's going to show up right there on the status bar. Now keep in mind that even if the battery percentage is off like it is right now, you're still going to be able to see it if you pull down the quick menu. The next thing I'm going to show you is the screen timeout time. This is basically how long the screen stays awake without any activity before it automatically locks. So to get to this setting, we're going to go to the settings menu one more time, display, advanced, and screen timeout is right here. As you can see, I have mine set to 30 minutes, which is the longest setting, but you can have it anywhere between 15 seconds and 30 minutes. I suggest playing around with it and seeing which one works best for you, because it's going to be different for everybody. The next thing I'm going to show you is the system navigation. So as you probably noticed, I don't have any buttons here at the bottom. It's actually this little bar, something called gesture navigation. By default, this is the system navigation for the Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G. And in case you're new to this feature, I'm going to show you how it works. So if you're in an app or something like that and you want to go to your home screen, simply swipe up from the bottom. If you want to see your recent apps, drag your finger up instead. And finally, if you ever want to go back, simply swipe from left to right or from right to left. It really doesn't matter which direction, as long as it's from one side to the other. Now, gesture navigation is cool and all, but you might actually prefer the buttons, so I'm going to show you how to get those if you want to use them. We're going to go to Settings, System, Gestures, and system navigation right here. When you're in this menu, you're going to be able to choose between gesture navigation and 3-button navigation. So we're going to select 3-button navigation, and here we are with the typical 3 buttons you see on most classic Android phones. Once again, I would suggest playing around with both and deciding for yourself which one you like better, because it's really up to preference and everybody's taste is going to be a little bit different. The next thing I'm going to show you is a quick way to customize your home screen. You can find most of these settings in the settings menu, but it's so much easier to do it the quick way, which is just putting one finger on the home screen and holding it for just a second. This is going to come up everything from your home settings to even your wallpapers, all in one spot. It makes it so much faster and more convenient to set up your home screen. This is one of the things I recommend doing as soon as you get your phone. That way you can personalize it to your own taste right away. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take a screenshot. Screenshots are a real basic function, but every phone has its own way to do it, it seems. And if you're new to Android or smartphones in general, it might be a little tricky. So all you need to do is press the power key and the volume down key at the same time. And there you go. The screenshot has been taken. This little toolbar is going to show up and you can edit it, share it, whatever you want. And that's pretty much it. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to control the sounds. You might be wondering how you're supposed to silence your phone or turn it on vibrate mode or even change your ringtone or notification sounds. So let's go over it. We're going to go to Settings, Sounds and Vibration. And here we got a couple things we can customize. First of all, we got the media volume, and that's basically if you're watching a video, listening to music, something like that, that's what this is going to control. The call volume is actually not your ringtone, rather it's the sound of the earpiece. So if you want it to be louder, of course you turn it all the way up, and if you want it to be quieter, you can turn it down. Ring and notification volume, now this is both ringtones and text messages, as well as other notifications you get. As you can see, mine is basically muted because I don't like getting sounds from my notifications. So that's how I have it. Now you can do it however you want. And if you ever want to change a notification sound, all you need to do is hit advanced. And here you can change the sounds for notifications, the actual ringtone itself, which includes calls and text messages, and your alarm as well. If you want your phone to vibrate, make sure that this is set to vibrate, so you can hit this, or you can have it always vibrate. The next thing I'm going to show you is the notifications. This goes hand in hand with calls, and if you don't like your phone blowing up over things that are pretty meaningless, then you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this part. So we're going to go to settings, and this time we're going to go to apps and notifications. Now you're going to go to notifications, and we're going to see a few different options. If you ever have an app that's starting to annoy you, you can always turn off the notifications for this app by going to the recently sent section and simply deactivating it. This way, you're not going to get notifications from the app, so it won't bother you anymore. This is another thing you can change. By default, it will show sensitive content when the phone is locked, but if you don't want it to, you can uncheck this, and if you get a notification with more sensitive information, it won't show that content when the phone is locked. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen lock. To do this, we're going to go to settings, security, and right here, as you can see, screen lock is set to pin, which is pretty much the standard these days, but you can also change it to a pattern or a password, or you can take the security off. You may be wondering, how do you actually set up the fingerprint and face unlock? Well, that is right here, and all you need to do is click on the menu of whichever one you want to use, and it'll give you on-screen instructions to walk you through the exact setup. You can also use both at the same time, so if the fingerprint scanner isn't working out for you for whatever reason, you can use face unlock instead. The next thing I'm going to show you is a feature called dark mode. Dark mode basically changes the overall color theme of your phone from light colors to dark colors. Let me show you. So we're going back to settings, going to display, and toggle on dark theme. Once this is on, as you can see, it is now dark colors, and you can also schedule this. So let's hit this right here. And you're going to be able to schedule it for either a custom time or have it turn on and off from sunset to sunrise, which is a really popular one. The last thing I'm going to show you is a quick way to open your camera. The camera app is easy enough, but you can also open it just by double tapping your power key. By default though, it's not like this. This is what happens right now if you double tap the power key. As you can see, the assistant opens, which could be useful, but if you wanted to do the camera instead, I'm going to show you how to get there. So we're going to go to settings, system, gestures, double press power key right here, and switch it from launch assistant to launch camera. Now when you double tap your power key, instead of launching the assistant, it's going to open the camera. It's going to ask which app you want to use to open the camera. If you have different ones like Snapchat, Open Camera, or any other alternate camera apps, if you want it to just open the camera every time you do it, simply select always. And there you have it. The camera is open and it's all good to go. But this was my beginner's guide to the Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I will see you in the next video.